Spare time footage. Spare time footage.
All right. So we are about to get things rolling. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. So basically, what we're going to be doing today, I know I've been posting and sharing a lot. Basically, it's going to be super dope. So we're going to be doing just some quick edit of my barbershop. I went the other day when I got my hair cut. See, got my boy fresh. You know what I mean? Shout out to my barber, Derek Parker. But so I just got some footage. While I was up there, got some dope time lapses of the actual cuts. All the barbers did, and I just got some dope BTS. A lot of slow mo stuff. A lot of fun. So it's gonna be a fun, high energy edit. Um, Hope you guys learn a little something. You know what I mean? But we're gonna go ahead and get things going. So you guys are gonna be able to see everything from start. Maybe not finish. I don't know. We're only gonna go to 9 p.m. tonight, and I can keep you guys here. I may just continue the stream. I don't know, but we're going to 9. We're scheduled to 9, so we're gonna keep it within the parameters. So first thing first, I do all my editing on Adobe Premiere. Okay, so now, like I said, we're starting from scratch. We're gonna go ahead and create a new project. So for me, I know I harped on this last time. I'm big on organization, and putting everything in its proper place and all that good stuff. And so it just makes life easier. So I'm gonna save it here. So what I'm gonna do is create a new folder. Come on, Adobe. Alright, so boom, now we're gonna rename this new folder here. We're gonna call it Blenderz Barbershop. Alright, so now we're gonna select this folder. So now it's gonna go to that path. So we need to name this. We're gonna name it Blenderz Barbershop. And just to let y'all know, I don't know if anyone is tuning in. I'm unable to see people's chats. So if you guys are in one of our chat things, responding or commenting, I apologize. I don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm unable to hear you. I'm gonna cut my face out the whole time. All right, let's see here. So now we have our project. So personally, my favorite place to work out of, I work out of 2 windows here in Adobe, primarily color and graphics. And the differences in those tabs. This is for text, any kind of graphic items that you would like to add, and then you have your color, where you do all your color correction, color grading, and all that good stuff. So I'm gonna go back to my color tab. I'm just gonna shift my windows here in a second. Alright, so now, next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna bring in our media. Oopsies. So everything is organized in this Blenderz Barbershop folder. And this is all the from that recent shoot I got all my time lapses in one folder. They're here. Boom. Got all those. And I got all my footage organized by name. And this is where my edits are gonna go. And this is my audio that I'm gonna use for the edits. So I'm gonna bounce back. So I'm gonna drag this whole folder right over into Adobe. Now this is gonna take a little second because what's gonna happen is it's gonna import all these files. I'm just gonna bring those right in, and we're gonna see those actually load and populate over here. So I tend to give my CPU a rest and just kind of let it do its thing. So while it is doing that, I'm gonna talk to you guys. So just like last time when I did the edit for date and powder brows, I had a little list, just kind of how I wanted to follow, or like a format, so to speak. I don't necessarily have a format this time, just because this is probably one of my favorite things about when I do some of the barbershop edits. I do what I want, you know what I mean? I get that kind of freedom. My barber gives me an opportunity just to come in there, practice, try new ideas. And so I wanted to do this for a couple of reasons. One, I got a lot of new gear, got a new lens filters and stuff like that. And I haven't really tested them out as much as I wanted to yet. So that is reason one. And what was the second reason? Second reason is I wanted to practice. I had some new ideas. There's some new features that just recently came out with the recent update on the Atomos Ninja 5 recorders that allows you to do some pretty dope stuff. So I want to test that out. So I went up to my barber and was like, yo, man, you mind if I do some filming in there? And he's like, yeah, bro, I don't care. So anyways, say all that to say, this one's a little bit different from how I would normally do this. So I just have a few challenges just for myself with this particular edit. The last time I did an edit for them, it was probably about a year and a half ago. And it was really when I first was kind of getting my feet wet in the video. And it showed, I just was like, and I always was like, man, I want to go back and do I would do some stuff different. So I see a lot of the stuff I'm going to do different. So one being, I want to make this edit. I want to have it done, everything, in under a minute and a half. So that's challenge number one for myself. And then number two, I want to incorporate all the barbers in that 1.5 minute and incorporate all the time lapses. It may not be the full pieces, but I want to incorporate them to some extent. And then the third is just high energy. So I want the goal is probably going to almost have like a music video feel in the final edit, but it's kind of like the goal that I'm going for. Kind of want to make something fun. Weather starting to break here in Ohio. Starting to get nice and warm out. People, starting to come out. COVID is seemingly dying down a little bit, I guess. I don't know. But people getting out the house more. So, I want to make it a little bit, I want to represent that in the edit. So let me get my camera right real quick too. Boom. Alright, let's see. See, it's still down here. We're still loading up. Let's pop over here. Trying to set my mic a little distorted. Let me bring my. It's probably because I'm too loud. How we sounding now? Hope we sounding better out there. All right, so it's gonna take a little second for those, like I said, for these clips to populate. You'll start to see. So one thing too, I showed like with Adobe, when it brings in all these clips, you notice I believe it was 4 folders over there. I had audio, edits, footage, time lapses. So it did not bring over the edits folder. It will not bring over empty folders. So don't flip out, if you have empty folders and you're importing and you're like, oh my goodness, where did this folder go? It's not going to bring it over. So what you would have to do is you would click here and you're going to create a new bin. So that's just essentially a new folder that's going to be in this subfolder or subfolder within this folder. So we're going to go ahead and do this because I'm going to create some mats. So that's what we're going to call this. We're going to call this mats and overlays. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with some of these. So it's going through, and it's kind of hard to tell like where it's at because it's going clip by clip. But I think we're getting, boom, yeah, I think we're done. So yeah, we're good to go now. So it didn't take too long. I think this was about 42 gigs of footage. So I brought that in really quick. All right, so first thing, we're gonna click back out of that folder and we're gonna click on new item. We're gonna create a new sequence. And this is where we're gonna name, name our project. So I'm gonna call this Blenderz Barbershop 2021. So Blenderz Barbershop 2021, that's what we're gonna call this. And so now we'll start going to work. So I've already pre-selected my potential music. Have not decided on what I'm gonna actually use. It's 3 different tracks. In the future, I would love to incorporate a way where all right, Sweet Tom said we got a lot better on audio. But in the future, I would love to incorporate a way that next man, boom. I would love to incorporate a way where you guys can give, your choice or selection, like, hey, use this one or use that. Obviously, out of whatever we pre-select, because you got to use specific. We can't use everything, unfortunately, for copyright reasons. So okay, like that. Let's see. All right, so I think we'll start with this. We'll go. So I know it's like weird. He's like, why is he sitting just listening to the music? But when you start at least the way I edit, I always start with music. I start music first and I build from there. Because as you'll see here, as we kind of get started into this, a lot of my edits are really based and sync in time with the way that the producers change and, have transitions and stuff within the music. I try to follow some of that just because I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. You don't always notice it when you're watching it, or just playing through a music video or whatever. But it'll if you look for it, you see it, and it feels more natural with the flow of the edit, in my opinion. You don't always follow that rule. A lot of times you'll jump off. You kind of make that judgment. So we're gonna do a lot of that because the pace of this edit is going to be really, really fast. We have a lot of content that we're trying to pack down in a really, really short time frame. And so another thing about this edit is going to be a lot different from the last edit, just because there's not a real like pattern. I have a goal of what I want the end product to look like, but I just know the pace is the main thing that I'm looking for on this one. So I'm gonna get ideas, and so the way my mind works and just the way I kind of work through edits and I'm thinking through things, I'll pause and I'll think, and I'll start to see it visually in my head. And I'll talk you guys through some of that, so that way I'm not just looking awkwardly at the camera and you guys are wondering what's going on. So don't think I'm zoning out over here. If you do see me stop and think off, I'm thinking of an idea about something. It's just the way I work. You know what I mean? So one of the ideas though that I was getting as this track was going is maybe transitioning the songs through all 3 tracks every 30 seconds. So you do like a 30-second play, 30-second play, 30-second play, a different track. I don't know necessarily how I feel about that as an idea. All right, so another thing that we're going to do, we're going to actually, I don't know if it's going to switch over. We're going to open up Adobe Audition. And the reason what we're going to do with this is we're going to shorten this track down to 1 minute and 30 seconds. And so copy. Where do I need to go? I'll be honest with you, if you guys are able to see this, I am not the best with Adobe Audition. I really rarely use it, except for this one thing. All right, here we go. So, boom, now I got this. I'm gonna. All right, so yes, that's the track that I want. So come back to mine. So now we're going to come back over here. And what is it? It's music. Click duration. We're gonna remix. So yeah, I apologize. Hope you guys follow. So basically, what I'm gonna do, I just right click on my my soundtrack in Adobe Premiere. Click I want to edit in Adobe Audition. Then up here, you just click multi-track, and then I bring it over here, and you just bring your track that you're working with into your multi-track recording session. Then once you do that, you click over here under music, you check that box there, and then you click remix. So now what we're gonna actually do is we're gonna change and bring this down to 1 minute and 30 seconds. All right, so now let's see. And so all these little marks here is where Adobe has made their, cuts in the beat. So it does a really good job of, chopping everything down. You can do the same with extending this. So say I wanted to extend this past the duration or the length of the actual track, it would do the same thing through the same processing. It's pretty seamless cuts. This saves you time. Alright, so hearing this, I don't know necessarily how I feel about it, to be honest. It's because I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of how Adobe cut that down. Like, I would have preferred to take off some of that intro. And then it just seems like it's the pace of the beat is not necessarily what I was looking for. But either way, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go ahead and export it. So I just over here on File, Export, Multi-track mix down. Let's name this Strategize. I need to make sure you go to the right folder. So that's here, here. Save. Alright, so boom. I do not think I exported it. Alright, so let's go to this folder and see if it exported as it should have. Yep, it sure did. So now we have that track, and we can just bring that right over here into our audio folder in Adobe. So boom. So now we have a new track that is 1 minute and 30 seconds. And you can compare. This is the original. This is the new one. This is the original. This is the new. So basically, I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to move. Actually, I'm going to click this here. I'm going to basically just disable that track. So now when I press play, you don't hear anything. Bring it back. You hear it. Disable the track. I have key commands that I have customized to do that. You can customize. I'm not going to go through all that, but you can customize your keypad settings so you can have quick shortcuts. You have to go into your settings and under keyboard preferences, and you can adjust all that to whatever fits your needs and preferences. But we're going to take a listen to these again. Yeah, I think this is the one. So I think we're gonna try this one. See how this one. All right, so we're gonna repeat that same process. We're gonna edit with the Adobe Audition. All right. And we're just gonna get rid of this. No. Boom. So we have that there. Music. Check the box. Shiitake. Duration, check the box, remix. It's gonna do its processing. It's counting down. And here we are. And we're gonna go for 1:30. So you want to run it back just a little bit because, oh, there we go. Look at that. Got it right there. So now see. I already like the look of this one better. Waveform looks better. All right, I like that. So now we're gonna get that exported. We're gonna start. Multi-track mix down. What's this called? The grind. The grind. Okay. It's going to the same path as the last track. So now we're good. So we're gonna minimize that. We're going to get rid of this. And click on that same folder. We got the grind. We got it right here. So let's bring it in. All right. So now we got our music in here. All right. So now I'm gonna play through some of these time lapses. So like this is one. Unfortunately, as you see, we had a little bit of rolling shutter. Good job. Let's see how we want to do this. So another thing too, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this edit real high energy. Like the slogan, the shop slogan is chopping like a fool. And so I thought the concept of the time lapses would be really dope, just because the pace and how they move, you know, just shows like a lot of movement that's going on. So let's see, maybe let's bring so what we're gonna do, we're gonna follow that. Boom, 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 boom. And so when we hit here, so what we're gonna do is put a little bit of these time lapses from all the barbers right in the beginning. Take a little bit of that. Let's see. So that changes a couple times. Let's see how much we got to. So it's 13 seconds. So let's see, how long is this clip here? So this clip is 1 second. 18/10 of a second, so we'll do about the same. We'll just keep that same pace. And then what we'll do, we'll adjust again from there if we need to get longer to get to our end point. Unfortunately, this is the only clip too I got of my man Snell cutting. Yeah, cut out before I got to catch him with another client. So we definitely gotta make his saucy. Get his where we want it. Nice and dope. So extend that out a little bit. Alright, so now let's just see how this is looking. And this is just going to be used as the intro. And so I'm thinking what we're going to do as this is playing, we're going to do something funky with the text and the shop slogan, chopping like a fool. So I don't know if you guys notice, I try to clean. If I make a mistake while I'm filming, or I do something that I don't like while I'm filming, I always try to adjust that out in post. Like if I'm using a gimbal and there's a harsh or a jerk in the camera movement, I always will chop down or cut out that in post to give the smoothest, cleanest, like possible, like final edit, and I get a lot of people that ask, like, oh, what happened to this part? And I'll tell them like, hey, I cut that out because of this, or it didn't look right. But I'm a real big stickler for that, because for me, I think the end goal, the end product, I want to be as clean as possible. And I'll cut out what, if it's a mistake, like if it's a bump, I try to get rid of it, especially if I know it's not like, or I don't feel that it's pertinent to the final edit. Yeah, it's gotta go. So I just wanted to point that out. So I don't know if you noticed and see something else that I seen, like here, I make a debut. So we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna slide this and we're gonna use a different part. And so now we're starting. And now we got that. So now, there we go. And so we'll bring that right there. We're gonna stop there right on the beat. And then let's see what else we got in here. There's a couple more barbers we gotta get. Oh no, don't tell me I don't. Alright, I got you. Man, just realized I'm missing a barber. So I know how we're gonna do that. Shout my guy Will Farm. There he is right there. I didn't get a time lapse of one of his cuts, unfortunately. Let's see what we can do about that. So let's get this where we want it now. All right. So. All right. So. 13. In like 5 seconds, we gotta stretch these out by. Should be able to just do. There you go. Nope, we're not gonna let me do that. All right. I don't want to move those. Now the thing with doing this is making sure that you don't bring back a piece that you were trying to cut out. Come on. Alright, so one thing we're gonna do to help this. No, I'm not gonna save any of that. We're good. Just gonna close out some of that. And let's check to see what's going down with the PC. And she's a little slow today. Alright, it should be good. It should be good. Just cooperate with me, baby. This is gonna be annoying. Alright, so now when that beat drop. So I'm not gonna jump into any text and any of that yet. So now what we're gonna do, we're in the color tab, we're in this tab for a reason. So if you guys remember anything about last time, we got our scopes over here. And so what we're gonna do is well get this cleaned up. So I'm gonna get our white balance real quick. We'll just check on that. One thing I'm gonna point out too with this, if you guys notice, there's this kind of like mist, around the lights, or kind of like a diffusion. That is one of the things that I was wanting to test out. These are the new lens filters that I have. They are the Tiffin Black Mist Pro filters. I think the quarter mist. And so what it does, it kind of softens the skins, because one of the big like gripes or complaints with shooting with like cameras like Sony's and just mirrorless cameras in general, and recording video, is they tend to be sharp or I guess harsh. And so when you use filters and things like that, you can kind of get more of a cinematic feel. And so I just wanted to do some edits and really see, kind of test the limits on it. But one of the major things that I like about it, it helps also with diffusing the light. So if you're in spaces where you don't have as much control over your lighting situation, it complements the nice, I'll say, and it gives it a different kind of look, unique feel. It's not something you may want to use all the time, but I personally, I do find myself using it often, or I have since I picked them up. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start. I always just personally, for my taste, I bump my saturation to 110. I'm shooting. All this footage is with the Sony A65. I'm sorry, A6400. Shot on the Tamron 17-70 lens. That's a newer lens that just came out, and like I said, with the Tiffin filter, the blackness filter. So that's what everything that we're seeing today. This whole edit was shot with that, excluding the time lapses. I'm sorry, the time lapses were shot on the Sony A6500 with the Tamron 28-75. So now next thing I do, I bump my contrast up between 50 to 60. And so if you notice, what that just did, it just brought all those colors. It brought it out of that log profile. Pretty much, it kind of brought my colors back. It took the flatness away, so to speak. So undo, just to show you what that looks like before and after. Before and after. So now we are getting somewhere. And if you notice also, let's pay attention to those scopes. That kind of brought those scopes a little bit wider because we want to get everything. The goal of it is to have, you know, it should almost feel that spectrum here. You know, that's when I've noticed my colors and everything are most vibrant. So now I'm gonna drop these blacks a little bit. And so I know I told you guys, we talked last time about not bringing your blacks too far down and crushing your blacks. This one, if you notice, honestly could bring my exposure down some, because one of the things that I've learned with shooting with the way I shoot with the picture profile that I shoot in, which is PP1 on the Sony's, I shoot typically in S-Log 3. I overexpose just because I can bring and restore my blacks to where I like them personally, um, when I overexpose slightly. So I tend to overexpose just a little bit. And so basically what that means is when I film, it looks to be like brighter than it should be. So, and for me, it gives me more control is what I've noticed as far as in post. I wouldn't say I'm able to get the dynamic range and everything that I want, doing it through this method versus underexposing or shooting right where it technically should be exposed at. And then I have a lot of crushed blacks going in and I'm trying to recover. It's harder, I've noticed, to recover those blacks than it is to bring down the highlights, is what I mean. And so now we have that. We're going to do a little trick. Copy and paste attributes. What it's going to do is going to paste everything that all those corrections that we just made in Lumetri on this clip is going to paste it right here. So now look at that. It saves us a little bit of time. And also I notice, why is that off? There we go. So we're going to continue the same thing. Click, paste attributes. Now we're starting to see it. And then this is when you start to make your adjustments. And you will make any adjustments that you deem necessary as you go. You're paying attention as you're doing this. You want to be checking these scopes to make sure you're not getting crazy overexposure, like, these lights. Obviously, I don't have as much control over that. In some situations, like I've mentioned before, you wanted to get extremely detailed. We could mask our subjects out if we needed to and make additional color corrections and adjustments to the particular subject, that's different or off in the background. But even still, you're limited as to how much you can adjust in post with for poor lighting. So the goal of it is to know your camera, know your subject, and what you're filming as best as you possibly can. So that way your footage that you give, if you're editing it yourself or you're sending it to your editor or an editor, you want to give them the best possible footage to work with because it makes their job that much easier. And when it's easier, when you have you have proper footage, you can do more with it, as far as on the edit, and so it just becomes more usable over time. Now that I would say that I've learned a lot, my skill has progressed, I'm able to go back and reuse footage that I shot, a year ago, 2 years ago. I wouldn't go back that far, but at least a year ago, I'm able to reuse a lot of that footage and it looks good enough to share. I'm a harsh critic on my own work and just myself. I'm really, really, really like, nope, I can do better. This isn't, my best work. I don't think I've ever will reach what I deem my best just because of the way, just the way I look at things. But I'm always trying to get better, is what I'm saying. So I don't think I'll ever kind of hit that peak. And so now this is going to be one we're probably going to have to make some additional adjustments just because Chris is right here on this window. And so was really bright. I actually kind of like that. It was actually a really kind of hazy day, so that's not bad. So what I do I'm gonna bring some shadows down on just a little bit, and then whoa, I see, that's crazy. What we're gonna do, we're gonna see if we dropped it down. I don't like that. Middle light. And so the reason also I'm actually, because this is almost still a little bright, but I like this because it gives me again more flexibility or a little bit more wiggle room to make more adjustments when I go to add like things like LUTs and all that. It looks a lot better. And this is honestly a really, really good image. I like this a lot. This looks like this looks really cinematic. This looks really good. All right, let's see. So now it says, add some people. Ooh, whoopsie. What's up? All right, so safe to play through. I don't know why it keeps getting stuck at that same spot. All right, so now we're gonna come in. We're gonna start bringing this footage in. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys, I shot this footage in some like real interesting ways. I was tinkering. I was trying a lot of things. So we're gonna be working with technically 3 different frame rates today because I'm not sure how the Ninja processes these time lapses. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it may dump it on a standard 23.97 time frame or time frame rate. I don't know for certain. I haven't looked into it like that. But if it's something different, you have that. Then I shot some footage in 60 frames and then 120 frames per second. So those are the frame rates we're gonna be working with today. I know I didn't shoot a lot in the 30 frames, or I'm sorry, the 60 frames. I don't even remember which barber it was that I filmed. Let's see. So yeah, these are all the barbers. This is all the footage between them individually. So since, for whatever reason, I didn't get any time-lapse footage of my guy Will farm, let's see if we can get it started with one of his cuts. And so this is in 120 frames. So this edited, like I said, we're going it to be extremely high energy. So it's going to be the pace is going to be a lot. So these cuts going to be short and quick. So we're probably going to drop this down like there. So what we're going to do, again, I have some quick commands, hotkeys. So we're going to paste. I'm just going to continue to paste that. Now those blacks look to be, you see, they look a little low. They're not horrible, but I want to lift them. I don't like mine to touch down there. There we go. So I like that hard transition from the so now let's see. So actually, I like the way it does the frame there. So we're gonna click that. We'll come back here, and then we're going to put that, the size where we want it. And then we're gonna do something else. We're gonna speed this up a lot. Not quite that fast. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, I like that. Actually, no, we're gonna undo that. We need to, because see, we brought his blacks up here. We need to copy those attributes and paste them. And actually, we have to be careful with this clip, because if we click the motion, it's going to change the scale to a different size. And we don't want to change our scaling on that clip. So actually now what we're going to do, bounce to another barber. Down here. Oopsie, I don't want to do that. So I kind of keep that same format going. So now, and I can tell you right now, this lighting is a little bit different on him. So we need to look. This is gonna do here. Bring these blacks down just a little bit. So what we're seeing spiked right here. I keep thinking you guys can see me. I'm about to point to the screen. Right here is this. It's that light behind him there. And then here is this peak here. If you're following on that spectroscope. The blue, believe it or not, I believe is pretty sure is that there. And so that means, let's see if I can, oopsies. So this is the original image. This is the clean. And I really love the look on these Tamron lenses, man. I've absolutely fallen in love with them. All right, so now we'll get a couple more clips of Vontae here. So yeah, take that a little bit there. And see how short that is in comparison. This is all shot in 120 frames. So I'm gonna do the same thing that we did over there with Will. And we're gonna boot. And it's just gonna be sped up. Speed that up about right there. Damn, son. And a little bit more. Trying to get that in beat. It's probably about right there. Yeah? Dang, super short. Go 15. Yes, sir. I'll take it. I don't like that at all. Why did I do that? So that for nothing. All right, so boom, 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 boom. What's it doing that? So let's see. Don't like how it's doing this. So I don't know why it's doing it this way either. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take from I'll grab a different clip anyways. Just bring it down here. I'm gonna speed this clip up. I don't like it, so we're gonna get rid of that. But what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna put that back. Keep that same momentum. We can do here. We're gonna go. There we go. We'll take this. A little bit of camera movement. No, should do it like that. Alright, so now we still need to shorten the same clip down. Oops. So this needs to be a lot faster. Let's see where we're at. So we can do something like this. And I'm gonna take the same clip and put my thing down, flipping and reverse it. You dig? Boom. Alright. You guys can tell which clips are being slightly corrected and which ones are not. Again, paste attributes. Boom. Paste attributes. Boom. Paste attributes. Boom. And we're not going to do this last one. I'm going to tell you why in a second because we're going to make some adjustments. I'm cool with all this. I like this. This looks good. This looks good. This looks like it could be better. And let's take a look. And here, what I actually want to increase is the whites ever so slightly. I'm just going to copy this. And there we go. So, boom. And we're gonna do something. So you remember that photo that we made over here earlier with the mats and overlays? We're gonna double click on that, keeping everything organized. Again, for me, clutter, and when you go back to play and you need to make secondary, third, fourth edits and things like that, and you're days away from something, excuse me, you want to be able to have this stuff organized. It just makes it so much easier. So utilize the bins, folders, and all of that. Create some sort of system for yourself. So what we're going to do is, now that we're over here, we're going to click on our new item button and we're going to create a color mat. And so now that we click there, we click OK. We're going to select our color. So we're going to go with a white. We're going to click OK. And we're going to name this white. And you can name it whatever color you choose. So basically what this does is this. It makes this little white box, or whatever color box that you want to use. And what we're going to use it for is this. We're going to keep the monotony from being too stale behind our stuff. So instead of it just being like exactly like how we had here, and as I go through the edit, I may even switch his out and go with a different color there, or I may go back to black. I don't know. Okie dokie. So now got that. So we're gonna come back here, get out of there. We'll come back to our footage folder. So we were in Vontae. We are on his footage here. And so we get a little bit more of him cutting, and then we're gonna switch to another barber. Let's see if we can get some of this here. That's definitely gonna be extremely long here in our edit. So what we may do, definitely want smaller look in there like that. We'll paste those attributes. We gotta keep in mind of what we made the adjustments for in that last one. We pushed those whites. And so we need to bring that down some. We're not gonna come too much because that is this light here. But notice his pigment slightly is different. And let's see. Still have plenty of time as far as in the edit in the song. So I'm actually going to slow the pace down a little bit. Probably going to come back and repeat a lot of the barbers and get different additional clips, some more detailed shots, get some wider shots of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut, get the closest there as possible. And we're going to jump cut. So that's what those are called. I know people have talked about this a lot. When you'll see like a lot of the YouTube videos, it'll jump, cut. Those are called jump cuts. So it's just when it's quick cuts from one thing to the next. It's not necessarily smooth. It's kind of harsh. But that is a style of editing. It's dope in some things, certain situations. Like this now. I think I love jump cuts. I use them a lot. If you pay attention in my edits. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna add something else, a little extra too. Extend this out, and we're gonna speed this up. Ooh, I was so close. 4 and 5. Let's go. That should be it. No. 3. Maybe. Dang. It's never 3. So it's gonna have to be 4. Alright, so we're not gonna get a spot on, so we'll go on 5 and call it. Should be close enough. Alright, so and all that, don't even like it. So maybe what we can do is this. Let's see if I can find another barber with a similar position on the clipper. And we'll see if we'll rotoscope them out and transition to that other barber. It's an idea. Don't know if it's going to work. what? I think I'm gonna use this right here, like that. All right, so now what we're gonna do is put even more strain on my CPU. So now we're about to jump into a little bit of After Effects, which I am got a little bit of expertise. Would not say I'm the strongest in the world, but I know I move around and do what I need to do. All right. So while this is loading up, let's pop over and check and see what's going down. I hope you guys, anyone that is tuning in, I hope you guys are learning something, benefiting in some sort of way. Hope this is not a waste of your time and you don't think it's such. So we're definitely, I can tell you right now, we're not gonna get all the way through this edit just because I want to tinker around with a lot of different ideas that I got rumbling in my mind. And I'm not gonna get to the end of this within the next 50 minutes, but we'll continue to progress. And I'll show what I'll do. It'll be dope, you know, for some of you guys to look forward to when I actually release the edit. Since you guys have watched this far, so one of the things that I am gonna do also is try to share. So we're gonna share a little bit more nuggets of the whole process as well. So now we are going to name this Blenderz Barbershop. This is Barbershop. This is an After Effects. So now this is our clip here. I'm gonna pre-compose, move into the new folder. All right, so now Rotoscope. Does it give us the option? I want to see. I wonder if this is the Rotobrush 2. All right. Okay, so yeah. Come on, man. There we go. So we should, my edges here are really refined. Like it's a good contrast between what we're trying to rotoscope in the background. So it should do this rather well. But we'll see here. And I don't think I did that right, which is why it bugged out on me. Oh. So, okay. All right, so all I'm doing here is just refining the edge. So that way, when I actually go to track this forward, I get a pretty clean mask on what I'm trying to do. And then all of this is not a waste of time. But see, this is, for me, one of the big things, I think some people, have a fear of doing is just trying stuff and, not being afraid to fail a couple times until you figure it out, it's a big thing, for myself. It's just like, it's really the big thing for trying any new idea, honestly. You can't be afraid to try new stuff. You gotta keep an open mind to certain things, a lot of new things. And you really got to put forth, a lot of effort, and trying to learn it. If it's something that you really genuinely want to learn and get better at. I can't tell you how much time I spend learning new tips, new tricks. How to light properly, how to edit, all of this. So. I'm gonna continue to get rid of this. Oh. So the goal of this is we don't want anything outside, because anything that's outside the purple is going to be in the mask, and that's obviously what we don't want. We're trying to get rid of that, so we need to get this as clean as possible. See, this is those boring moments in editing that no one tells you about. When you're sitting, quietly lost in your thoughts and ideas, staring at computer screens, clicking mouses and rolling buttons all day. But to those that enjoy it, it's awesome. So now we're getting closer. There we go. Let's see, can this get any better? How good are we, Adobe? Yeah, I'll take that. All right, so now we'll come back. We'll go fit, make this normal. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna track this frame by frame to make sure everything is tracked correctly. And it appears so. So now we're going to freeze it. And there we go. So now we have our mask. So we need to clean this up a good bit. And I hope I didn't do that wrong. I hope I didn't freeze this before I was supposed to, and I think I did. Dang nabbit. Let's see if we can undo some of this chaos I just created. Oh no, we're good. We can adjust it. Okay. Come on, baby, come on. Yeah, it's working. So we'll go about a 25% feather. I'll take that. All right, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and just export this out. Actually, you know what? It should already, yeah. I mentioned that. Ooh. See, we gotta play that. So another thing that we can do with some of these mats and overlays, which is pretty sweet, is we're gonna go ahead and make a new one. Color matte. Yep. This time we're gonna take the dropper. We're gonna take their blue. And we're gonna do Blenderz blue. So now we have a color matte of the blue. And so we're gonna do something with this. So we're gonna come here. We have that underneath that. And we're gonna take up the opacity, let's drop that down to 50%. Let's see. And here, we're gonna bump this up. I actually go 200. And we're gonna move the position on that. So now it looks a lot smoother. It's not so harsh. And then I'm gonna add something else in here. And I'm gonna say right here in that mats and overlays folder, I'm gonna come over here. So now this is where my ideas get going. So we just got some new, excuse me. Dun, 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 dun. I should have brought those over. I haven't brought those over. I'm not gonna do that yet. Huh. All right, so you guys are unable to see what I'm looking through, but Just looking through some different like effects and stuff that I have. I'm gonna bring over some stuff here in a second. So, all right. So now, all right. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's put this in here and see what it looks like. See if I like it or not. So one thing I see that it change that position of this baby. Another thing I don't like, it's changing. So we'll go screen. Yeah, we'll go screen. Oh, oops. All right. So I'm gonna make another cut here. It's not gonna let me get right on beat, unfortunately. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Ooh, don't like that at all. Alright, so yuck. I hate when it does this. But unfortunately that's what it is. Alright, so now question is, do we go on another jump cut and cut to another point? We can do that, or we go through another clip. I say we go to another clip. Let's see how this looks since we have it here. Not sure. And so this is, again, this is part of the, the process, just trying stuff. And if you don't like something or you like it, try it, use it. If you do like it, keep it. If you don't, get rid of it. I actually kind of like that because it looks like we're stepping into his clippers. And so now that actually leads to a great point. We're going to go to, this is actually my barber here. This is Derek. He's the shop owner, CEO of Blenderz, the Blenderz Barbershop conglomerate. So we want to show my dude off here. Should get some good shot of him in thought doing his thing. Kind of like that. Let's see how this looks. Well, this working now. Let me put my snap back on for I mess myself up. Alright. Paste attributes. I'm really digging these filters, man. I like these filters a lot. Okay, one thing I do want to get, I want to get something with better movement. I don't like that clip. I think we're getting somewhere out, but let's see what else we got. We got a lot of clips in my dude here. Kind of like this. Let's see how this plays into the edit. Let's see. Nah. Let's see. Keep going, keep going. Got a lot of clips. Kind of like that. Hit a little reverse action maybe. So we'll come up from the client and back to Derek. I like that. So I'll show you what we're gonna do here. We're gonna go speed and duration, and we're gonna reverse the speed. So all that's gonna do is bring it from the client up to Derek. So we just obviously need to bring that down. And made it almost look like I racked the focus. And I'm thinking I may speed this up a little bit. Yep, I think I'm gonna try and see what that looks like. So cut right there. And so what we're gonna do, we're gonna speed from the clap or that snare to that piano note. And then we'll hopefully when it gets to this kick, it's back closer to this point is where I'm wanting it. Kind of ending. So it go boom. And then when it gets to this kick, we're gonna switch to a different clip. Let's see if we can get it. Speed and duration. Let's speed this up a good bit. Just trying to be that short, so. And we'll go back to 100. Let's see. Not necessarily the effect I was looking for, but let's see. like it though. We'll cut to a different clip. Let's see how it flows to another clip, and then we'll see what goes from there. Oh, that's a good one. Maybe. So I'll tell you what I'm looking for. I'm looking for another point that I can mask, because I want to mask into another clip after him. So what I'm thinking I may do is another reverse clip, but I don't think I got this as smooth as I wanted. I know there was another one of these. Hmm. There we go. So I can got it. So we're gonna take this piece here, just like that. And so we're gonna drop this down. And what we're gonna do is reverse it. After I make some adjustments over here, I don't know if I like the way that looks. Let's take a look at these colors, see what's going down. It looks good. It looks good. I like that. Bring those blacks down some though. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna reverse the clip. So we gotta figure out how we wanna do this. So now we have it going the way we wanna go. Because how it's gonna go is hopefully plays for a couple seconds, and then it hits one kick drum, and then when we hit the second kick drum, it's when we get a mask point, and then it'll mask into the next clip. But we have to get the speed and the timing right where we want it in order to do so. So let's see how we do this here. So probably should cut here on this kick, as close as we're gonna get. So we should be able to get what we're looking for. Come on, let me get a little bit better than that. I'll take it right here. so if I can, so without making that look too crazy. So now it goes boom. And this one, we're going to keep the masking simple. And actually, we're going to position this a little better. All right, so 1849. Nine, 4, 9, 7, 4, that. Alright, so basically all I did was just made some keyframe adjustments so that it doesn't jump when transitioning, because I wanted to center this a little bit better than I did it. I had it. So now when we go to add our mask here, I need to start at the start point on that, so that way it will track accordingly. So we're going to keep it simple. We need to invert this. I'm just going to use a standard square mask. Nothing crazy. And I'm just going to cover the red. And boom. Just like that. All right, so just like we were using in After Effects, we're going to go ahead and track this mask forward. And Adobe's bugging out on me. So let's see what's going down. Come on, don't wait till we get to the end. I want to crash. I think it's about to crash. Oh, nope. Okay, so let's go ahead and save it. So we gotta mask this forward. What is this error? Unknown process exception. Let's clear it. Let's see if it'll let me keep going. I feel better at least knowing I was able to save. But I may have to delete this mask. It's looking like, because you can't have that mask just sitting. Oh, cool. It's gonna let me work. So now, and it's doing it again. You gotta be kidding me. The heck is this about? Like, what? So, track it frame by frame. Either way, it's doing what I needed to do now. Alright, so now what we need to do is I'm gonna add a 5% feather and I do 10. I need this to be slightly harsh. And I made some boo-boos, so we're gonna just expand that expansion out a little bit there. And now we're gonna find the next clip that we're gonna bring in. So the question is, do we stay? I think we'll jump to another barber here. Oops. I'll jump over to my dude Chris. Actually, you know what? No, we're gonna jump to I like some of the angles I was able to get with some of his cuts. So right now I'm looking for some of the tighter shots that I got. There we go. We're getting where. There we go. This is what I was looking for. All right, so now we got some clip cleaning. I messed up. So that clip is not adjusted. So I try to make, when I bring in a new clip before I start making my cuts, let's go through and paste the attributes. As you see, this one's gonna need a good bit of adjustments here, because look at this, like this is exposed a lot differently. So we have too much highlights over here, and this is Derek. Like this is him reflecting off of the mirror. And down here, we got a lot of crushed blacks with this toolkit. So first thing, we're gonna bring up those blacks, bring it up a good bit. I'm comfortable with that. And now we're gonna bring the whites down some. So I'll copy this. Looks like we're slightly out of focus too, unfortunately. No, I bet I know it's off. Oh no. So these attributes, gotta pay attention to what we're doing. I don't want to do anything other than that. There. Okay, so this clip needs a little bit more work. This here we see over here is the light, so I'm not pressed on that, but you can bring down those shadows some. We can also, not the shadows, I'm sorry, the blacks. This is our shadows here. Yeah, we're gonna lift those shadows actually a little bit. Now we're starting to get some, look at that depth that we see in there. We can see that he's not, the image doesn't look so flat anymore. You can start to see that there's a little bit of distance between the barber's arm and this gentleman's face. Bump up those highlights just a smidge. Because now we're gonna start to see like the reflection of the light kind of off of his beard over here, and you also start to notice it more along the barber's his arm there. So I like that a lot. That looks good. So now what we're doing, honestly, because we're getting close to the end, do a playthrough and see if I can get it to play through okay, and we'll close everything out. So unfortunately, they don't even. And that's the feel of it though. So I'm gonna continue to add the rest of the edit is gonna remain at that pace there. I really like the pace that it's at. I like where the direction is going. And unfortunate that you guys aren't able to see the rest of this, but that's the direction we're gonna go and continue on this with this one. Trying to think what else, man. You know what I mean? I appreciate you guys for tuning in as long as you guys have. I hope you got something out of it at least. I wish my computer was functioning a little bit better for me, and this edit could play back a little bit smoother, but it's been running all day. It's just kind of normal at the point that honestly I would restart this and continue what it is that I'm working on. But we are getting to the end of our little journey here. I'll leave it open for a little minute. If anyone that is tuning in has any questions, anything that they want to chime in and ask, I am paying attention to my chat now. So it's kind of a chat focus for the last few minutes, and then we'll close everything out, and I'll continue working and finishing this edit here. But I definitely like the direction it's going. One thing that I see that I probably want to adjust or do more, I'm probably going to add more, is going to be overlays and things like that. Probably going to add some more, a good bit more of those. And I think honestly what I'm going to do, I definitely am going to go ahead and end the stream at 9. I am going to continue to work on the edit though. What I'm going to do, this is something, I'm going to give you guys some IG content so you guys can tune into my IG for this one. I'll continue my behind the edits. So I'll screen record the rest of my editing process on this. So you guys can at least see the rest of kind of direction I go and what I come up with. But so far, like I said, I'm happy with like how everything was shot, like the images. And it's crazy because none of this was, I didn't use any extra lighting on any of this, these clips. None of this is, it was all pretty spontaneous. I walked in when I can and pretty much just set everything up and shot. So I think it's dope how, it actually, how I was able to get, get the turnout of it. Because I know, especially with the kind of lights they use, sometimes you get, rolling shutter. And I did see it in some clips, but it's nowhere near what I expected. And I'm not sure, what I did different this time, aside from, making sure everything was exposed correctly. I do not remember the first time when I shot, and I filmed over, out with the barbers the first time. I don't remember what my format was. And actually, well, I'm gonna do this. Let me see if I can find this and play that for you guys. Because that would actually be pretty dope. Y'all can see some progress. And that's how we'll end the stream. We'll do that. It's got to be. Where would you be? Yeah, this bad boy is buried in the archives. I don't remember when I did that. It was so long ago, man. It's probably, like I said, this was back when I first was really getting started filming. To be honest with you guys, it might not even be on this CPU. It might be on the old Mac. I think it is, and that's a whole separate hard drive, unfortunately. It's not one that is cross-compatible with the PC, so I don't even know where to tell you guys to go to see that. I'm pretty sure it's on the YouTube. It should be on the YouTube. Yeah, check out our YouTube. It's definitely on the YouTube. It's on also on our website, if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna have to update that. Put the new joint on here. Something a little bit more high energy, much better footage, like far better. Just learned a lot, I've learned a lot over the years, specifically in the realm of lighting. I was talking to a good buddy of mine, Quentin, cute boy wonder. He's down in Atlanta. He's from Ohio, but he's down in Atlanta. He's doing a lot down there. Super dope videographer. But I was talking to him also about just lighting and how people don't really know that much about lighting, and when they don't, it shows. And proper exposure and all that kind of stuff. And that stuff, honestly, and this is not a knock on anybody. It's just stuff that I'm getting to the point that I feel comfortable, saying that I know, and comfortable saying, like, hey, I'm learning this and I'm proficient, with lighting. But it's a huge, huge, huge aspect in all of this. Like, if your light's not right, it's going to be hard to really justify or correct, and bounce back from anything else. But with all that being said, guys, we're getting to the end of this baby. I sincerely appreciate you guys tuning in with me. It was a good time. Still got a bunch of editing to go, though. So long, farewell, peace.